But in terms of the Mr. Girl stuff, if I could talk about anything, I guess, from what I understand, she played up a lot of that because she was like watching Mr. Girl at the time and blah, blah, blah. And when she wrote in, she elaborated a bit.
You told me something almost identical to what Britt wrote into Mr. Girl.
You never told me like the parts about him or her being turned on by him actually doing it IRL. Like none of that was ever mentioned. It was always just, hey, this is a thing that happened one time. He didn't really want to do it, but I kind of wanted to do it. And we both felt bad about it and didn't do it anymore. That was the story she gave me.
So the last hour and 50 minutes, I don't know the exact count of times he brought up like age play, but I'm guessing it was between 20 and 40 times. Just nuked in a single sentence. Conor's whole thing, like back here in this video, was expressing like disgust that Destiny had engaged in this behavior that was like harmful to like two military veterans who, you know, he described them as both homicidal and homicidal. The tone of this conversation to me is pretty clear that this guy would rather this stuff not be hashed out publicly. How do you not come to the conclusion that Conor is like violating this guy's privacy for like a drama cycle on a live stream? It's bad, man. Take it from the start. Oof. Okay. All right. Let it roll. All right, here we go.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna give it a minute. Just a minute. I will not have chat up during this segment because, frankly, I'm not interested in contending with DGG and or any critics, ne'er-do-wells, naysayers, disbelievers.
Why is this happening?
Heretics, or any filth of any sort. My current position is that I'm doing what I think is right. I'm saying what I think needs to be said. I'm saying what I think needs to have been said for a while. I'm going to try to be as fair, balanced, sane, stable, descriptive, and narrative as I possibly can be. I will also engage with chat and or super chats at the end, but I will not be interacting with anybody until I'm done. Not just that, but what I would say is, regardless of how you arrived here or how you leave, whatever you think, whatever you don't think, I don't care. Okay? You think I'm the biggest piece of shit on the fucking planet? Don't care. You think I'm the, I'm standing on principle? I don't care. I'm not doing this because of you. I'm doing this in spite of you. There are plenty of people who want to let sleeping dogs lie. I don't think I can. So once again, trying to be as fair, balanced, and decent to all parties as I possibly can be. I'm going to start. So what's good and bad about Stephen Manel II, aka Destiny? Well, I think that anybody who interacts with him for any period of time, especially if they are not repulsed by his abrasive...
Proudly with $2, Conor has become Mr. Girl 2.0. All right, I need a... is there a DGG wiki entry for Mr. Girl? Because that is one person that I don't know fucking jack shit about. Just give me a one sentence summary of Mr. Girl and the lore there. Just one sentence. He wrote a 400-page manifesto on Destiny. Is this accurate, chat? Mr. Girl is the best Destiny arc ever. It's the master of puppets of Destiny content. He became obsessed with Destiny's sex life after taking him down. And they used to be friends, right? Like stream friends. One sentence cannot encapsulate Mr. Girl. Oh dear. Okay. He was sort of small-scale YouTube artist, made music and cultural discussions, but also has a bit of a savior complex and went to war with Destiny. Okay, that's all I need. All right.
Manner, they can immediately recognize what's good about Steven. He's charismatic, he's intelligent, he's funny, he's rhetorically gifted, he's a good debater, he's good on his feet, he's witty, he's charming, and he can be, being an operative term here, he can be gracious and kind.
Pull your tongue out of my ass.
Can be. Now, what's bad about Destiny, and I think even his fans will admit this, is that he can be petty, vindictive, self-indulgent, self-destructive. He can engage in antisocial behavior and not care about the consequences of his antisocial behavior. So what I would say my relationship with Steven was prior to the Pixie drama, because the Pixie drama is a huge inflection point, is we just debated. We were friendly, we swapped DMs every now and then, we debated every now and then. That was our relationship. And what I would say is during 2024, when we worked together with Progressive Victory, I of course went out to a couple of canvassing events. I went to...
It's true. I met him in Wisconsin. He's tall. He's a tall man.
Cincinnati, and I went to Milwaukee, and I got to hang out with Steven and hang out with other creators. And it was cool to be in the same room and actually hang out and chill and talk a little bit. To be clear, he was very busy, as was I, but it was cool to be reciprocal and in person and to be helpful and all of those kinds of things. Now, I don't know when we hung out for guns and stuff. I don't know if we did that before the drama. I think I went down to Miami maybe once or twice before the drama. I think I went down to Miami substantially more after the drama. But I don't think these lines of facts are in contention. Steven sexually communicated via social media and text message with various people. These were all consensual sexual relationships. To my knowledge, Steven is not a rapist of any kind. He actually, I think, has argued in the past, and I think his partners can attest, that he goes out of his way to gain consent before sexual relationships. However, what happened after that was he filmed some of these sex acts. I don't give a shit. There's probably, like all my photos and pictures of me in intimate acts are with former trusted partners. And, you know, that's not the big deal. That's not my objection. That's not my criticism. My criticism is not having sex and photographing yourself and or videotaping yourself in vulnerable positions. That's not my criticism, obviously, as he tried to argue in our previous conversation.
Is that a back massager? I think so. I think he has some kind of injury that he sustained, maybe a back injury or a shoulder injury or something. My
criticism is that he met a person who was posing as an 18-year-old sex worker on Twitter, who was actually a 26-year-old British man who was pimping out a 17-and-a-half-year-old girl from Texas who catfished him, and Steven sent sexual videos and pictures to this person of him and some of his friends engaged in sex acts without the consent of the parties that were involved, that he was transmitting it to other people on the internet. Now, this doesn't make him the worst person on the planet. It truly doesn't. I know substantially worse people who have done substantially worse things. And when this drama occurred, I'm going to tell you, I didn't really give a fuck. The reason why I didn't give a fuck was because all of these people were sexually promiscuous. All of these people engaged with a sexually promiscuous person. All of these people consented to sex acts. All of these people consented to their sex acts being videotaped. All of them consented to having their sex acts stored by the other party. What they didn't consent to was the communication of it to another person. So while I think Steven should be criticized for his bad behavior in this regard, I felt that the bad behavior was overblown in January 20 of 2025. I thought that the people calling him a digital rapist, people calling him a sexual predator, people calling for him to be incarcerated, people calling for him to be put on the sex offense registry, people calling for him to be sued into the ground, I thought they were being histrionic. And truth be told, I still think they're being histrionic about that incident in specific. But I want to talk to you about the totality of circumstances of what happened since that time. So, I figured, I like Steven. I think everybody on the internet hates him right now. I think that regardless of his sexual stupidity
Adopt that word, Hutch? Which word?
in this regard, he is still charismatic. He is still intelligent. He is still funny. He can be, not all the time.
Histrionic?
He can
I've used
be
that word
gracious
before.
and kind. He can be petty and vindictive, and he can be very cruel and abrasive. But maybe what's going on is he has had so many clout sharks and demons swim up to him, take advantage of his money, his clout, and his power, and then stab him in the back. Maybe what he needs is somebody who won't stab him in the back at the drop of a hat. And maybe I could be that person. And when we did our podcast appearances, when we went and shot guns, and when we went to hang out and we got McDonald's and we were bullshitting and we were hanging out with Sam, still love Sam. When we were talking with Hobbit Follower, still like Hobbit Follower, let's be clear. I enjoyed myself. I enjoyed myself a lot. Once again, Steven can be very kind. He can be very gracious. He can be very funny. He can be very charismatic. He's very intelligent. He's very good at debates. He's very good on his feet. He's very witty. He's everything that I said that was positive about Steven 2 years ago is probably, in spite of Steven's bad behavior, still true to this day. And I saw flashes of what I think are Steven's soul. Underneath the trauma that he's experienced in young life, and I'm specifically talking about his relationship with his family and his grandma, underneath the social isolation that he's experienced in Twitch and YouTube trauma, underneath the endless amounts of clout demons and clout sharks who have used him for money, power, and clout, and then backstabbed them ruthlessly, I think there's hopefully a soul or a human being that is capable of redemption, kindness, care, love, somewhere in there. It's deeply buried under all of the shit, but there's flashes of that. And I'm praying that eventually the flashes of his kindness and grace and virtues, although he has many vices, I'm hoping one day he'll choose to embrace his virtues and expand upon them.
What's your analysis so far? It's hard to take these comments as sincere when you add the element of the fact that it's being live streamed, you know, like making a spectacle of it. It just really undercuts the tone. Like if he was saying these things privately to Destiny, and if they had the kind of friendship where that sort of talk was, where they had a rapport, where that kind of talk could happen, and it would be like organic and like within the boundaries of their friendship. But you know, making a spectacle of it comes across as kind of cynical, which is a bit ironic because he's accusing others of leveraging Destiny for clout, you know. So and it sounds like he's convinced himself that this is like a loving act of friendship, but again, it's the same sort of commentary as the last one, which is these conversations are not content. You know what I mean? It's not normally how these kind of friendships go. These kinds of exchanges go.
Which brings us to food shops. So, since I was pretty open about Steven's sins, whenever the snarkers came to me to criticize me about Steven's sins, I would be honest about Steven's sins. I think Kyla was likewise fairly honest about Steven's sins. Dan Saltman is not a creator. Mr. Mouton was out of orbit. And so there were no people who would be willing to defend Steven's honor and take the fight to his critics online. I don't know why he needs to fight his critics online. It's something that has befuddled me for years at this point. I don't know if he's getting doxxed and swatted. Well, he's a millionaire. He could change addresses. He could buy a compound. He could hire private security. He could get a large dog that would eat a home intruder. There's a variety of things that he could do in reference to doxing and swatting that he's not actively doing. I don't know why. And
you could just move if you're getting swatting is pretty weak argument. When you're a certain size of creator, like they'll find you. Like doesn't matter where you move, they're gonna find a way to find you. Also, this kind of presupposes unlimited funds. You know, hiring full-time security, I imagine, is gonna be pretty fucking expensive.
And to this day, it still befuddles me of why you would need somebody who jerks off to lolicon and makes poor argumentation.
The fixation on food shops is a little odd. Are Steven and food shops like super close? Do they collaborate a lot? Somebody asked for dramatic music in the background. What about, I mean, you got to go piano in the spot.
As someone who defends your honor, I think I expressed it to him in private. I think I challenged him on one of the podcast experiences, and I think I've been critical of food shops since. But for those of you who don't know, Food Shops is a smaller creator, 50 to 150 live viewers usually. But will sometimes, when she's getting rated, she'll get 600,000, whatever. But she spent the past year or so, maybe year and a half, criticizing Steven's critics. But my beef with Food Shops 2 years ago, my beef with Food Shops 3 years ago, my beef with Food Shops 6 months ago, my beef with Food Shops 2 months ago, my beef with Food Shops now, is that she is an unrepentant lolicon. She looks at...
He's been raiding into her, but that seems to be it. Food Shops essentially became his J-stock. Food Shops had 1,700 people watching this with her last night, railing on Conor. Food Shops has been doing the Destiny post show. Gotcha. Okay.
Cartoon drawings of adolescent children, and she masturbates to them. And I think that somebody who masturbates to pictures of adolescent children is a pedophile. If we are identifying pedophilia, I'll use my lay definition, someone who wants to have sex with children. This has always made me uncomfortable. I have always disliked this. Food Shops joked about suing me. She is welcome to do so. I will hire the cheapest attorney that I can possibly find in order to respond to the motions, and I will show up to court and I will play her own live streams for the court to hear. She is...
Wait, I'm confused. What's happening?
3 years ago, my beef with Food Shops 6 months ago, my beef with Food Shops 2 months ago, my beef with Food Shops now, is that she is an unrepentant lolicon. She looks at cartoon drawings of adolescent children and she masturbates to them. And I think that somebody who masturbates to pictures of adolescent children is a pedophile. If we are identifying pedophilia, I'll use my lay definition, someone who wants to have sex with children. This has always made me uncomfortable. I have always disliked this. Food Shops joked about suing me. She is welcome to do so. I will hire the cheapest attorney that I can possibly find in order to respond to the motions, and I will show up to court and I will play her own live streams for the court to hear. She is unrepentant. There are dozens of clips of her admitting to this behavior. So, I'm not a fan that Steven chose as his champion a lolicon who jerks off to adolescent kids. Now, breaking this down a little bit further, because there will be liberals who watch this stream, I do not believe in the Max Carson quote of you can fantasize about whatever you want. Your brain, like a vital organ or a muscle, responds to stimulus. And there is a concept that I explained to Chud Logic several years ago called neuroplasticity. It basically means that whatever you do with your brain will become reinforced over time. So if you play the piano, you'll get better at playing piano. If you learn to shoot, you'll get better at learning to shoot guns. If you learn to drive, you will get better at driving a car. If you jerk off to kids, I think it stands to reason you are setting a sexual reward system alongside graphic consumption of depictions of children.
Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. For a little more context, Food Shops also talks massive shit about Conor, so it's a little bit of a split in the Destiny defenders. I don't know anything about Food Shops' consumption. I don't want to know anything about Food Shops' consumption. That's going to be a hard pass for me, dog. If you're looking for commentary on Lolicon, you're not going to get it on this stream. I don't want to talk about these things. I have no interest in these things.
And so
that's a hard pass for me.
I'm urging the liberals in my community, the libertarians in my community, the liberals and libertarians outside of my community, the people who have listened to this fucking, sorry, this is going to be the first slur of the stream, this retarded fucking argument that you can do whatever with your brain because it doesn't affect anything.
Masturbated? Be specific. Location, time, what you watched.
That's a good use of that, Tangia.
You're wrong. And you're stupid. And you're cringe. And you should reconsider your priors. So this brings us, this happened in January 20th of 2025 was the release of the Pixie drama. Steven and I hung out several times throughout 2025. Food Shops fell into orbit and became one of Steven's champions in 2025. I didn't like it, but I dealt with it. Then, in November of 2025, I was contacted by a man on Twitter.
I think I might be the reason why Food Shops is one of the cast of characters. I'm pretty sure I might be the reason. And it's such a unremarkable story. It was in like April of 2025, maybe March. I don't know. I went to bed as I do, 10 p.m. Netflix and my programs, and I opened up my phone and checked YouTube real quick, and there was like a thumbnail of a streamer that was talking about live and learn drama, some debate. And I listened to the stream, and Food Shops was defending me or whatever, and I didn't know anything about Food Shops, and like, you know what, why don't I call into the stream? And so that's what I did. I called into the stream. We had a little conversation, and I had no idea about like Food Shops as a consumption or anything, you know. She seemed pretty harmless and nice in our conversation, but then she farmed me for a clip. She farmed me. I don't know if it was midnight. I think it was like 10 or 11. I don't know. She asked me, would I ever associate with Destiny ever again? And I paused for a minute and I said, yeah, I mean, sure. I mean, I would like leave the door open for literally anybody. And that was like the gist of it. And then that like started a whole thing. Destiny had called in before then. Are you sure about that? Are you positive about that? I don't know if they had any contact before then. I actually don't know, but I'm pretty sure that's how Food Shops, well, I think that's the origin story there.
I do not have his profile at this time. I'm sure that he still has it, but he added several Destiny orbiters, including myself. You know, you could go check the text messages. I think it was at my Counter Conor profile. If there's the possibility to go check the archive and see people who added my profile, you could probably find this profile. But anyways, this gentleman says, I am a traditional Catholic. I am married. My wife has destroyed our family for Destiny, and no one's doing anything about it. So I go, And by the way, this is according to recollection, so if I mess up a word here or there, I'm describing the conversation in generalities as I remember it, not with the specific quotations. So I go, well, I do like Steven, but I'm not the kind of guy who ignores a problem. So let me go ahead and check this out. And I talked to this gentleman whose current profile on Discord is called Devil. And Devil says, I'm a traditional Catholic man. My wife and I are military veterans. We both have post-traumatic stress disorder. She has sexually related trauma. And she has been in a sexual communication relationship with Destiny since February of 2025. And the reason why this is important to me is because Steven made the argument, as silly as it was, that he had substantially reduced his gooning and that he was not engaging in reckless sexual behavior the way that he was. Now, what the husband further said is that they engaged in step-parent role play.
FYI, this devil guy comes on stream later and walks all of this shit back in front of him, by the way, so this is a lie. Yeah, no spoilers. Why are you putting spoilers in the chat? That's the clip that I saw. I saw that clip making the rounds.
That they sent pictures of the family, specific details unknown, that he was deeply, deeply, deeply upset by this, that he wanted vengeance against Steven. And while the specifics may be unclear in these series of messages as to whether or not he wanted to commit homicide against Steven, he's welcome.
I got Miswak sticks earlier this week. I'm still getting the hang of it, but all good so far. It's just good for like ADD kind of stuff because you can brush your teeth without any toothpaste. You know, it's not like a whole like process. You can just kind of sit there and do it passively or whatever.
Welcome to release the logs and show whether or not he ever expressed a homicidal desire for Steven. I have logs of the wife saying that her husband told her.
Jaws of $5. I already disliked Conor before all this because all his arguments are, well, this happens in science fiction, so we should do it too.
Repeatedly, that he desired that Steven were killed. So he says, okay, well, then he shared his text message logs with me. Now, in the text message logs, what I remember is that he was accusing this person, his wife, of engaging in step-parent role play, of involving pictures of their children, of engaging in lurid ephemophilic or pedophilic, depending on your definition, sexual role play, and how that was repulsive and disgusting, and he hated her and hated Steven for doing this and destroying his family. So, he says, well, she's actually a fan of yours, so why don't you call her and talk to her about it and see what kind of evidence or narrative she gives you. So I do. And what she says is, no, that didn't happen. My husband is exaggerating. The family pictures had nothing to do with the sexual situations. And we engaged in like some babysitter role play or whatever, but it's not as bad as the husband is making up. You know, she was the initiator. She was the person who pursued the relationship. And even Steven said, hey, we should cut this off. Like, let's not do this. You're married. Your husband is pissed off. You know, let's not do this. Okay? Now, I wrote Steven a letter that I'm going to read to you because it's my side of the messages. I'm not leaking any.
What if we did music that like doesn't fit at all? Like here.
Of his messages. I'm just gonna leak my own.
I fuck with bagpipes like so aggressively.
I'm looking. I should have had this pulled up, but take a breather. Oh, I misspelled the word friend. That's why.
Let's just turn the music off. It's very distracting.
Let's find it.
I'm a little bit Scottish. Like a little bit, not much.
I read
though.
this earlier, but I'm going to read it blank. I'm going to read it again, just so it's all in one place. Dearest Stephen, I value our friendship and want to continue it, but you are a retard. A traditional Catholic man messaged me on Twitter saying that you had sexted his wife as recently as February. He wants to blow this up into drama. The wife wants it to stay quiet. His wife is actually a fan of mine, contacted me as well, saying she was on the rocks with her husband, and that she was the initiator and voluntary participant in the sexting. However, she also said that you knew she was married and a psychological mess and encouraged her to stop messaging her. That being said, you guys continued. She mentioned that the messaging was quote-unquote spicy and inquired as to what that spice was, and I found out. You are, of course, retarded. Not just that, but she mentioned that your ex found these messages and was angry with both of you. Her fear was that this ex may have taken screenshots and may leak them out of revenge if this all blows up.
Jack with $2, could this all be a mole hunt? I don't think so. Blitz with $2, Alba Gubrath. I don't know what that means.
She was arguing with her husband and in an argument admitted to these messages. The husband, as a traditional Catholic, his...
Hutch, have you seen Destiny's Discord DMs to both of these people? They're both basically sorry. This is awkward. This guy won't stop. No, I have not seen those.
Conor is insulted and
link them to me after we're done watching the video, I guess.
he wants to destroy you. To my knowledge, he does not have copies of these messages. However, this brings me to our friendship. I think you are an intelligent, charismatic, funny, rhetorically gifted man. Wait, I think you are an intelligent, charismatic, funny, rhetorically gifted man, and I respect and admire you and your talents. However, I think you're a self-destructive, sexual degenerate retard who has to constantly test the loyalty of your friends. Conscious or not, you engage in indefensible behavior and look to see who sticks around. In my opinion, you walk the straight and narrow and then get bored every few months, so you blow everything up again to see who sticks around. It's a self-fulfilling cycle because while your cynicism tells you everyone will eventually betray you...
Oof, okay. This is starting to... It's a little odd because Connor's like making it about like him, you know what I mean? Like, are you doing this to fuck with me? Are you doing this to test me as your friend? Which seems like a bit of a leap in this spot.
You act in such a way that any sane person concerned with their own reputation would betray you out of a sense of self-preservation. So, to Wick, to Hutch, to people...
Why am I involved in this? Hang on. Why is my name coming up right now?
My Twitter might have gotten hacked, by the way. My Twitter has already been banned once. My Twitter asked for my two-factor authentication for my email, and the email that I signed up with for my Twitter is no longer working. So I may have just lost my newer Twitter profile. And so if my Twitter profile is texting anything crazy right now, just know that I've been hacked since probably 8 a.m. this morning. So I'm paying a price for telling the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me God, as I've seen it, as I remember it. So I decide, hey, I gave him a shot across the bow. I can't tell who's telling the truth. I don't know if Steven is being a fucking retard, and if he's pretending to be a 13-year-old boy getting molested by a 15-year-old girl, which is fucking weird. But Steven's a weird guy, so whatever. Or if it's worse. So I'm going to put this in, I'm going to give Steven a shot across the bow. I'm going to ask the husband what he wants to do.
So Connor's claiming that he did he see evidence of this, or is Connor saying that that's what happened?
And I'm going to see if this blows up or blows sideways or whatever. But I don't have enough evidence to go forward. I asked the husband what he wants to do, and he says he wants to leave sleeping dogs lie for now. So I say, okay. and I let sleeping dogs lie. And weirdly enough, a few weeks or a few months go by, nothing happens. And I'm like, you know what? This could blow up in the future, but it's not my problem for now. Which brings us to the snarker war.
Okay.
So once again, I want to emphasize, I've heard Hutch saying this should have been done in private. It was done in private in November of 2025. I heard Wick say that this should have
Well, it should have stayed in private.
been done in private. It was done in private in November of 2025.
The inverse is kind of more important here. It should not have been done in public. A genuinely constructive person usually doesn't sandwich praise and contempt together constantly. Conor, for some reason, always does that. LMAO. Yeah, you mean like the intro when he was like, Steven can be gregarious, gracious, kind, funny.
Okay? This was private. Steven did not listen to me. He did.
So I decided to blow it all up in public. I don't know, I wouldn't have done this personally.
Not consider me. He did not consider Kyla. He did not consider Dan Saltman. He did not consider Mr. Mooten. He did not consider any of his future coworkers. He did not consider Unfuck America. He did not consider CNN. He didn't consider
something so controversial yet so brave.
A single fucking person when he engaged in this behavior. And trust me, it gets a little bit worse.
Okay. All right. Buckle up.
So anyways, the snarker war. I think that when Hutch and Wick are confused about what Steven's sexual indiscretions have to do with Steven's snarker, anti-snarker campaign, I think
I'm a little bit confused. KB Gaming with $5. Genuine question. Do you think the parasocial nature of our society is leading us down a path we won't be able to come back from? I feel that all of this drama when the world is literally falling apart is mind-blowing. Of all the problems that plague society right now, I think viewers having a parasocial relationship with streamers is probably near the bottom of that. Like, I don't know if that's like a pressing issue for society right now. I just think streamers probably need to be a little bit better with boundaries, you know?
Are either being thoughtful indiscretions have to do with Steven's snarker, anti-snarker campaign. I think they are either being thoughtless or obtuse. Pretty clearly, if you listen to any of the snarkers, one of their primary criticisms of Steven is the way that he conducts his personal affairs. Whether that's in reference to Sherry, whether that's in reference to Anna Voir, whether that's in reference to Melina, whether or not that's in reference to Lauren Southern, whether or not that's in reference to Pixie or Rose, it's quite clear that Steven's personal conduct is what he is most often criticized for by the people who hate him.
I don't think that has ever been in doubt. The question is that justified? It feels like we're negotiating with terrorists here. It's obvious that the snarkers focus on Steven's sexual proclivities. The question is the level of obsession that they've gone to justified in response to Steven's sex life? Like when I look at Steven's romantic history and interpersonal relationships and stuff like that, I have my own judgments, but they're just, I would never, like, it's all very messy for me. I'm in my settling down years. So I look at that and I think, well, that looks pretty noisy, you know, but I don't lose sleep over it. I don't think about it basically ever, unless I'm watching a video like this and I'm forced to learn things about Steven's sex life that, you know, I would have preferred to not know because I just don't care. Like, I have opinions about it, but I don't like think about it. It's not something that takes up any kind of real estate in my mind. And Conor seems to be saying that, me and Wick are being obtuse because Steven's like personal life is what the snarkers talk about a lot. Well, isn't that like our point? Like, why are they so focused on this guy's interpersonal relationships and like romantic life? Is that level of scrutiny sufficient to like justify their behavior over the last like year or so?
And not only that, this conduct is not private. It is not. We found out about Melina and Lauren Southern and Rose because Steven sent his not only homemade pornography to Rose, he sent his love letters to and from Lauren Southern. Why are you sending love letters of you and your ex-girlfriend to a sex worker you have known for 10 days? If Steven's private life was private, then it would remain private. If Steven's personal life was personal, it would remain personal. But it's...
Why is he saying sex worker? What does he mean by that? So when Steven was getting catfished, the pretense was that Rose was a sex worker? Wait, what? Was an OnlyFans model? Gotcha.
Not. And the same level of indiscretion that he engaged with in reference to Rose.
Are OnlyFans models considered sex workers? You know what? Let's ask Claude. Oh, it spit this. No, I didn't think very long on that one at all. This is a question of definition and categorization, and the answer depends partly on how you're drawing the lines. By most common academic and policy definitions, sex work refers to the exchange of sexual services or erotic/sexual content for money. Under that broad framing, yes, someone selling nude or explicit content on OnlyFans would generally be considered a sex worker, the same way a webcam performer or someone in pornography would be. Okay, all right. There's more to it. There's some caveats here, but I guess that makes sense. Bloomenberries with the tier 1 membership. Thank you.
Is the same level of indiscretion that he engaged with in reference to Brit. Brit was a random woman on Discord. Brit and him talked via Discord DMs. Brit and him engage in extreme sexual role-playing, despite her being currently married to someone who hates his guts. I can only assume that this is sexual impulsivity that borders on addiction. So when you say, Conor, you are cock-watching. You are criticizing Steven's personal and private life. No, I'm not.
Well,
it's become public. You know why? Because the husband contacted me. The husband showed up in Steven's own DGG chat. The husband was a part of a Telegram group that routinely talked about Steven deserving homicide. And Devil, if you're in chat and you're denying this fact right now, just know that I have screenshots from Brit that say the exact opposite. That you are a Nick Fuentes fan. That
is Devil the guy? The husband?
You are a traditional Catholic. That you did hate Steven. That you did allude to the fact that this Telegram channel was plotting Steven's homicide. So, you can, Steven and all his little fucking sycophant cultists can say, oh, the husband is saying he's not a groiper and he never threatened Steven. That's okay. I have screenshots from the wife saying the exact opposite. So good luck with your argumentation. Good luck sweeping this one. So, you cannot...
Did you hear about the employee that ran up a $500K Claude bill because the company didn't put restrictions on the account? No. Wait, what?
Delineate Steven's personal and private conduct when it becomes public and when I become aware of it as an orbiter. If I cover it, if I cover it up, I am complicit. If I expose it, I'm a backstabber. Please tell me what I should do, because I'll tell you what I did do. I tried to determine the evidence. I gave Steven a shot across the bow, and he didn't listen to it, which I will bring up evidence for momentarily. All right. Let me scroll down. I am using an outline, so excuse the next few moments of dead air. All right. Destiny escalates the Snarker War with an implicit threat. And by the way, if you've seen me jump on a few times in the past few months, where I just jumped on to hang out with Destiny for just a specific topic and then dip out, I'll tell you, not only did I want to maintain a respectful orbit, because I didn't want to be viewed, Steven himself referred to me as a meteor. You know, an orbit is a moon, something that's constantly there. A meteor is something that travels in and out of the solar system. The reason why I treated Steven and my orbit as a meteor prior to November of 2025 is because I didn't want to be a clout shark. I didn't want to be a demon. I didn't want to be another person in Steven's life who sucked up to him for money, wealth, power, and influence, and then backstabbed them the second that it was convenient.
Okay.
I did not want to do that. Truth be told, I don't want to be doing this right now. I wish this hadn't happened. I wish that Steven and I could be friends. But there are things that I can't defend, and so I won't. So, Destiny escalates the Snarker war this past week.
Hutch, it is creepy for streamers to send not safe for work messages to people on their Discord. I mean, I wouldn't do it. That seems like rolling the fucking dice. I wouldn't do it.
By saying that anybody who is hosting snarkers in their Discords and allowing them to talk shit unimpeded, he will no longer interact with them. And what I said, when Steven said that, he never direct messaged me. He never made a direct ask. He never told me what he wanted. What he did instead is he said that on stream, and then I got a series of messages about it. And I'll pull this up right now. I said that there's a reasonable ask here. Do not allow snarkers into your community to endlessly talk shit about me, or I will no longer associate, fraternize, debate, or talk with you. That's the reasonable ask. But the unreasonable ask, that I believe is an implied threat, was since Destiny has a disproportionate amount of clout, power, and influence, it is safer to ban snarkers entirely, so you do not warrant Steven's wrath and or disassociation. Not only did Mr. Mooten confirm that this implied threat was meant by Steven's statements, but Steven followed through on this implied threat. When I asked him for evidence of Doobie engaging in snark behavior that was greater than talking shit, he presented none. When I asked him why he doxed Esports Batman and Wicked Supreme, he didn't have a good answer. So no, I have done difficult things in my life. I am not going to be leaned on through social media and public pressure to ban people from my community, however nefarious, without cause. If you want me to ban these people, then you present cause. So on Friday, that blew up.
Well, if it's a buddy of yours, does Conor think like everyone's lying about it? I mean, it seems pretty obvious that the logs are real, that people have seen the logs. The snarkers themselves have not denied a lot of the really damning stuff. What is the doubt here?
Past Friday. Matter of fact, I'll give you a date for the people who exist in the future. May 22nd of 2026. I've known about Devil and Brit since November. So, let me go ahead and move that away. Not only did Destiny imply the threat, he carried out the threat. So, on Saturday, might have even been Friday night, I get a message from Brittany. Brittany contacts me. She says, "Oh, it's crazy. I'm so sorry that you and Steven are breaking up. Steven and I are still talking." So I want you to understand this. Steven sexually text messaged a woman, did age play scenarios with her, got a shot across the bow, "Hey, this is fucked up and retarded," and he kept doing it. And not only did that happen, holy fucking shit, but I remembered the narrative
he's getting really worked up about it.
That her husband was in a group planning Steven's homicide, and I asked her to confirm that detail. She confirmed that detail. I have the screenshot. Not only that, this is going to be a tough one.
What's happening right now?
A second.
What is happening right now?
Not only that, but her and her husband are broken up, obviously. But Steven thought it was prudent to receive pornography of the husband and this wife. I want you to understand that. Britt vacillates between endless adoration and love for Steven. She truly loves him on a fundamental level. She thinks he's the best thing since sliced bread. When Steven is not around and is not communicating,
The specific doubt is whether Doobie and Officer Nasty / other people are doing gay ops, logging Destiny and Conor's community
with her, she gets suicide
Well,
because she's mentally unwell. Her husband has blamed Steven for the implosion of his family. Steven received a pornographic video of these two mentally unstable, homicidal, and suicidal military veterans having sex for his personal enjoyment. That is something that I was told on Saturday. And by the way, that was confirmed by both parties.
what's the significance of them being military veterans? Wait, what?
Her husband has blamed Steven for the implosion of his family. Steven received a pornographic video of these two mentally unstable, homicidal, and suicidal military veterans having sex for his personal enjoyment.
Okay. So my understanding is that a lot of these allegations get kind of blown up later in the stream by one of the parties that he's talking about here. I question the ethics of, like, let's say it was all real, you know, let's say all of this was real. I question the ethics of, like, let's say that they're a couple, they're two veterans, they have PTSD, they have self-unaliving thoughts, this kind of thing. Why would you blast this out in a live stream? Why would you do that? If that was actually true, if that was true, wouldn't blasting out their personal business on a live stream like that potentially be a pretty significant risk to those people? If all of that was true, seems wildly inappropriate.
That is something that I was told on Saturday. And by the way, that was confirmed by both parties. That was confirmed by Britt and that was confirmed by Devil. So, you can imagine, I hope, my frustration, rage, and anger that my retarded friend, who is $800,000 down because he was imprudent sexually, is still being imprudent sexually in a way that could get him killed. And in a way that could result in a woman's suicide.
He doesn't understand the contradiction here. His whole line of attack here is implying that Steven's actions put someone at risk, put somebody mentally unstable at risk, and then just like blasts all the, but he doesn't understand the contradiction of like blasting all of this out on a live stream. That's kind of difficult to wrap my head around.
Obviously angry about this fact. It gets worse. The snarkers have not corrupted my mind. They have not mind me. They have not manipulated me into my position. If you take a look at my previous content, I have been quite clearly critical about Steven's sexual misadventures. And when I thought he was doing better, I was praising him. And when I thought he was fucking up, I was criticizing him. So to pretend that J-Stock, Queeman, or Doobie talked to me for 2 weeks and that somehow changed everything, it did not. You were just not paying attention to what I was saying previously. The snarkers have given me one thing and one thing alone. I have verified that this is Brit through information that I have saved. She wrote in to Mr. Girl's call-in show via email to discuss her relationship with Steven. This is confirmed. I cannot be sued for this because I have the evidence that backs up the truth of this scenario. Let's listen.
This year, I was involved in an online affair with a guy for almost a year. My husband wouldn't engage with any of the weird trauma-induced kink stuff that I was curious about, and so I was compelled to
Is this an AI reading, or did he hire a VO actor? What is this?
impulsively and regretfully engage with this guy online in some pretty intense and taboo age play scenarios, including fantasizing about being step-parents to each other's kids, and
This is Mr. Girl reading it? Gotcha. Tehaj, thank you so much for the tier 1 membership. Appreciate it.
obviously it went way too far, but felt really intensely good in the moment. But afterward, I felt sick and
I mean, as to the question of like whether or not the snarkers were running gay ops in Connor's chat, I don't know how much I can say. But the answer is yes, that was happening quite clearly, explicitly, yes.
cried all night because it obviously felt really bad too. How do you know if the other person also feels the same way or if they would actually do it? My understanding is the best predictors are drug use and low empathy. And even worse, what if you felt like you love them so much that you wouldn't
Is there any proof of this? Yes, I'm looking at it, but it's not mine to share.
care if they did, and you get off on what you would potentially be willing to allow them to get away with? What if the idea is kind of enticing to you in a way, even if you deny it or try to lie to yourself about it? Even if you never act out on something like that yourself, lucky for me, it's over now. If you're saying that you doubt your willingness to hold boundaries in real life, then that is a danger. Yes. This year, I was involved in an
I'm going to go ahead and play that one more time. Back in November, I had 2 conflicting stories. Devil told me that this was the scenario, that there was step-parent role play involving children. Brittany said no. It was babysitter shit. Devil's exaggerating. This is an email confirmed to be Brit sent to Mr. Girl. One more time.
This year, I was involved in an online affair with a guy for almost a year. My husband wouldn't engage with any of the weird trauma-induced kink stuff that I was curious about, and so I was compelled to impulsively and regretfully engage with this guy
How much of this was walked back?
online in some pretty intense and taboo age play scenarios, including fantasizing about being step-parents to each other's kids. And obviously it went way too far, but felt really intensely good in the moment. But afterward, I felt sick and cried all night because it obviously felt really bad too. How do you know if the other person also feels the same way or if they would actually do it? My understanding is the best predictors are drug use and low empathy. And even worse, what if you felt like you love them so much that you wouldn't care if they did, and you get off on what you would potentially be willing to allow them to get away with? What if the idea is kind of enticing to you in a way, even if you deny it or try to lie to yourself about it? Even if you never act out on something like that yourself, lucky for me, it's over now. If you're saying that you doubt your willingness to hold boundaries in real life, then that is a danger. Yes.
Holy fucking shit. Did he mean to show this on the screen? All caps, just I feel like I'm reading Kevin Spacey's notes that they find at the end of 7. No, that's mean. Cybexon with $5. I will assume none of this is walked back, and it's none of my business what 2 consenting adults do privately. As far as people's... Now, I'm not saying that this is what actually occurred, but as far as what 2 consenting adults do in terms of roleplay stuff, I have zero opinion on that stuff. I don't understand the relevance at all. It could be the wildest roleplay you could possibly imagine, and I don't think that's any of my business. Like there's some kinks where I'm like, that's a little weird, but and if there's things that like in the past people have like asked me to do things that I wasn't comfortable with, but I just don't care. I don't think that it's relevant to any kind of like discussion about someone's character. I just don't care. People are into weird stuff, man. Everybody's got their weird shit that they're into. And I do not give a fuck.
And yes, my outline is on Microsoft Paint. Because fuck you, that's why.
I don't know if he meant to put this on his screen, but okay.
So, I wish Devil may not believe this, but I truly mean this. I wish him the best.
Am I to understand that Devil himself joins this call later in the stream? Is that what happened? Because I saw a clip of that, but is Devil the husband?
Moving on.
Okay. Yes.
From
all right.
Britt. Because I think they're broken up now. I truly wish Britt the very best. Moving on as well. She is clearly psychologically disturbed. She clearly needs therapy. If you talk to her for more than 30 seconds, you can identify the fact that she needs therapy. She is way too forward.
Oh boy. Glass houses. This is a glass houses moment.
She is way too flirtatious. She is way too open with soft core, but still sexual messages. She is clearly someone in psychological distress. And this was identifiable to me within minutes.
Is Conor Catholic? I know he's Christian, but is he Catholic? Catholicism and sexuality is Catholicism does fuck you up as far as your sexuality goes. If it feels good, it's probably wrong. Is kind of the Catholic way. Well, I don't know how everybody else was raised with Catholicism, but when we were taught about like sex ed, we were taught straight up like masturbation is a sin because it takes the focus off of God. So like, Catholics, sometimes we can be a bit repressed, I suppose. Might be the word for it.
Of meeting her on Discord. I'm not even losing $800,000. I'm not even being sued. I was able to identify her mental illness instantaneously. Obviously. So,
does he mean he was able to diagnose her, or he was able to identify that she has mental illness?
I wrote down another piece of content. I'm going to read this to you real quick because it's relevant. I have been accused of becoming a snarker. I am not. I will not be dedicating the next 2 years of my life to Steven's downfall. I actually want Steven to do well. I think that the narratives of Steven are sometimes exaggerated. I don't think he's the most evil person on the planet. I've met far worse than Steven. But I think Steven is obviously self-destructive, sexually impulsive, and stupid. So if I had to prescribe for Steven, trying not to hate him, then I would say, this is my unsolicited advice. He should and this is not totally related to the sexting drama. Destiny should balance his spicy public takes to be spicy enough to get attention, but not so vile and criticizable that people want to murder him. He cannot, in good faith and good conscience.
I mean, that's probably good advice. I think Steven edges a little too close to the sun sometimes.
Blame the doxing, swatting, and harassment and attempted homicides solely on the stochastic permission structure created by his snarkers. He cannot do that while he is sexting a woman who is presently married, who is hanging out in a traditional Catholic group chat that was plotting or at least joking and stochastically trying to work each other up to his homicide. That is a fucking lie. Destiny should not bring mentally unstable women to public events where his personal sex drama has a chance to implode or ruin the event. Do you remember
When did that happen?
Empath Chan? I sure as fuck do. He brought her to an Unfuck America event where she called Darius the N-word. Destiny should avoid fucking random fans at the event so that drama doesn't explode either. Not that I know that he has, just a general prescription.
If you don't know that he's done that, why would you? Azimuth Phoenix with the tier 1 membership. Thank you.
Destiny should speak to his sexting and sexual partners for a longer time to screen deeply mentally ill people out of his list of partners. Destiny should not engage in age play or any sex act which could be used to call him a pedophile. If a partner is discovered to have deeply mental illness, if a partner is discovered to have deep...
Question the logic there. If Destiny engages in some kind of kink with someone and then that leaks, it wouldn't be like Destiny's fault, right? Like that's a bit of like pre-victim blaming.
Deep mental illness, like Anavoir, Sherry, or Britt, he should simply message them, sorry, I don't think it's healthy for us to engage, and then block them on all platforms and not speak about them privately or publicly, regardless of whether or not they attack him publicly. You know why? Because you were the dipshit dumb enough to have sex with mentally ill fucking women. Destiny should evidence his claims that Snark is responsible for his swatting, doxing, and digital harassment beyond criticism.
The empath Chan thing is a lie. He didn't bring her. She showed up on her own. Gotcha.
Destiny should only engage in turning the other cheek or tit for tat morality. He should not engage in eye for an eye or barbarian retributive violence. Destiny should focus on political commentary and community development in order to get another college event / canvassing operation going for both of the midterms in 2028 if he wasn't a fucking dipshit. Instead, he's on the fucking internet using a pedophile champion to defend his honor against shitters criticizing his personal life. Meanwhile, he engages in even dumber, reprehensible fucking actions. And his fucking cult of dipshits say that I'm pocket watching because I'm worried about him losing $800,000 in legal expenses. They say that I'm penis watching because I'm criticizing him for engaging in stepdad fucking role play with
It has a different ring to it when you say penis watching.
a random, insane, suicidal woman on the internet while he's being sued for sexual misconduct.
It's so contradictory to call this woman a random, insane, what did he just say?
Fucking role play with a random, insane, suicidal woman on the internet.
He says that 10 minutes after criticizing Destiny for exploiting someone with mental illness, and then just refers to her in that kind of way is kind of gross.
While he's being sued for sexual misconduct. So no offense to the people in my chat who are likely spurging the fuck out, who I cannot presently see. But if you say pocket watching, or if you say dick watching,
I simply don't believe him that he doesn't have chat up right now.
you're a piece of shit. And you would let Steven kill himself if it amused you for 2 seconds on the internet.
Wasn't this litigated already on your stream? Why go over it again? Your eyes look a little glossy. Why did you spend almost an entire week, 6+ hours a day talking about it to everyone except the internet except to him privately? Get to the point. You didn't criticize Vosh though. What is a snarker to you? He's getting some pushback in the chat there. What is the end game here? I have no fucking idea. This feels like a dog chasing a car situation. I don't know if there is a clear end game. It's just like, it's all just ego and impulse. Aeon Android with $10. If we find out that Kyla or Melina has mental illness, does that mean he should find them problematic? I'm not understanding the mental illness jab. Well, Conor here has a pattern of broadly describing people as having mental illness. I don't like some of the language he uses about these women.
My stance.
I hate it too, Cherry. Yeah, I think it's gross.
Neutral or positive to engage in a phoebophilic or philic role play. I think it's bad.
Well, there we
If
go.
you think it's neutral or good, and you are a current member of my community, I ask one of two things from you.
Why are we exploring the morality of kinks?
You either keep that opinion to yourself or you leave my community. And if, let's say that all of my Oilers, all of my Chippers, all of my community support come from people who think this is not a big deal.
Hutch, Conor purged a bunch of mods and followers from this drama. Yeah, I said it the last time, but this is kind of the textbook definition of a crash out, but this one seems a bit prolonged.
And who think that it is perfectly sane and rational for Steven to be sexting suicidal and homicidal people while currently being sued for sexual misconduct.
PJ with $5, I guess I sort of know what he's trying to get at, but it also feels like he's getting lazy and just infantilizing people with mental illness. He's certainly doing that.
I don't want your money. I would rather destroy my streaming career, and I would rather go back to working construction administration as a nobody who participates in this space as a hobby than continue to rely on your viewership or financial support. I want that to be abundantly fucking clear.
Tank Swift with $2. Pretty sure Conor is having a mental breakdown. I don't know. A mental breakdown is, maybe that's a bit strong, the language. He's having what we might call an episode. He's in it. He's like in it right now. But I still maintain, like, if he just backed off a little bit, took a break, decompressed for a little bit, maybe got some couch time, talked to a therapizer himself, then like, it shouldn't be career ending, you know what I mean?
That if you thought that I should have swept for this, if you thought that I should have let sleeping dogs lie, if you think this is some kind of crash out, I would like you to go to the Discord. I would like you to click one of the settings buttons, and I would like you to leave. Regardless of the amount of money that you've given me, regardless of the amount of time that we've been friends, regardless of the amount of time that you've been a part of the community, enjoyed the community, you can send me a nice message on your way out. Hey,
why is he trying to moralize kinks between two consenting adults? Yeah, I genuinely have no idea. That's like not anybody's business. The almighty Pat with $5. It feels like he's sweeping the murder plot to condemn sex acts between two consenting adults. Yeah, it does kind of feel like that a little bit.
Hey, Conor, it's been a wild ride. I appreciate you. Hope you have a beautiful day. Fuck yourself. And then leave the community. I would prefer that. I would prefer to go work a normie job than have that be my community. Now, as if this wasn't bad enough, because Steven can't admit that he's at fault. He can't admit that he's sexually impulsive. He can't admit that he's hurt people through his misconduct. He can't admit that he's wrong. He can't admit that he continued his impulsivity long after his Vyvanse prescription. He also lied to my face. And he lied to your faces as well. When I told him that Lauren Southern loved him and wanted to get back with him, I was trying to be polite about their scenario. And I was trying to not out that they had a relationship. So when Steven said, how about you take this L, we've been secretly dating for 3 months, he was lying. When he said that I asked out Lauren and got rejected, he was lying. When he has implied that what has motivated me is jealousy out of his relationship for Lauren Southern, he is lying to you.
So he didn't ask her out, or he didn't get rejected?
I was already talking to Lauren as a friend. Steven, I was becoming single. I never asked Lauren Southern out. I asked Steven if he would have any problems with me asking Lauren Southern out. And instead of recognizing that I was trying to be sensitive to his feelings, he tried to use that as a weapon against me because he was pressed and he was getting raped in our conversation.
Hey, Ion Android with $5. This is definitely an episode he emotionally looping and catastrophizing otherwise normal private activities. He's personally involving himself in things that, in a way that is like, I would say, just very inappropriate. Just kind of don't make sense. What do we call this being enmeshed? Maybe that's not the word. I'm thinking of like, I was with someone who had a really bad alcohol addiction, and I became obsessed with their behavior, and I became kind of consumed with a mission to like get them to stop drinking, and like their life became my life. I guess that would be like enmeshment. I had rational reasons, because it's hard to watch someone literally like slowly kill themselves. That's a really difficult thing. But the way that I reacted was I became just consumed. Just every day I was thinking about this person and their behavior, and it just made me like really sick. This kind of reminds me of that, like focusing on somebody else's behavior and positioning yourself as though you have this responsibility to get them on a better path or something like that. It's just, there's many such cases.
Not only did Lauren confide
Hutch's last hair strand with $5, as someone who's recently been overcoming their own mental illnesses and started finally talking with my mother again, it's deeply infuriating how much people essentialize mental health.
In me that they were talking about dating again at that time, which was part of the reason why I never asked her out. And by the way, I do have a girlfriend. I don't even give a shit. Lauren's 1,400 fucking miles away. She also told me that Steven was too much of a fucking pussy to commit. Rather than engaging in a healthy relationship with a woman he loves, he would rather go do step-parent fucking age play with random women on Discord and Tinder.
It is a bit odd for him to be personally so pressed about that. Even if I accepted just accepting the framing is true, like, okay, why would that personally offend you? Like, that's kind of a bit much.
He is a socially and sexually retarded human being who has destroyed his personal and professional life because he is so dysfunctional. And I am not going to be a part of it. I'm not going to be silent about it. If anybody asks me any question related to this drama, I'm going to answer them honestly based off of the information that I have. It is not a crazy stance. It might be a crazy stance in some online communities, but it is not a crazy stance to say that pedophilic and ephebophilic sexual role play is crazy. It is not a crazy stance to say that engaging in this kind of reckless sexual behavior.
It's never been my thing, but honestly, that stuff is more normal than people think. Certain shades of it are kind of normal for a lot of like sexually active adults. Papa Kazel with $5. Does he think if he keeps saying the same thing, it will suddenly make it relevant to the snarker conversation? I'm waiting for that connection to be made. So far, it's been like 30 minutes of talking about like his take on like Steven's private life, but I'm waiting for the connection with like the snarker stuff. Siam Double with $5. Ever thought about making more of a streaming studio like Josiah Destiny? I do like the spare bedroom background look. Just curious. It's a little a little messy back there. I have my that's like my bag with all my gun cleaning stuff. A little messy back there. I could make it more orderly. Hutch, that is an insane thing to say. What is an insane thing to say? I don't think so. Are you talking about like people having? It's just, you know, I don't know. Wouldn't women that, you know, say the word daddy, wouldn't that be kind of like dipping our toes in age roleplay? That's very normal, like very common. But even if people have or are on the extreme end of that kink, it's just like, I don't really understand the relevance to the conversation. Like that is like this immoral act. I can think of a lot worse things than that. Shen with $2. I don't know that roleplay is wildly immoral and freakish. Guy with $5. This is also dumb. Even if this is all true, why the fuck would Steve take the verbal responsibility Conor is demanding during a court case?
Behavior, while under civil lawsuit for other reckless sexual behavior, is patently fucking insane. And I will not be gaslit by moral cowards.
He seemed to suggest earlier that like his theory is that if you engage in role play, you're because of neuroplasticity and repetition. He seems to think that it's like a slippery slope to actual pedophilia, which that is kind of an insane thing to say. Like role play between two consenting adults is like, well, you know, you do it in a playful setting behind closed doors, and soon enough you're going to be, you know, prowling grade schools. And it's just I feel like if that was like an actual phenomenon, we would have learned about it by now. Jaws with $2. If it's two consenting adults, who cares?
Into other
Fleva with the tier 1 membership.
perspective, patently.
Bad Company with $5. It's also insane for Conor to paint Lauren Southern as mentally ill when he asked her out himself. Did he say that Lauren was mentally ill?
Fucking insane. And I will not be gaslit by moral cowards into other perspectives. Specifically, thank you, Hutch. Thank you, Wick. Why is this all in the open? I don't know. Why the fuck do I know about it? If this is Steven's personal life, if this is his private life, and his private life is private, why do I know about it? Is it because he recklessly engaged with mentally ill people who contacted me and told me about it? Is that why?
In private, right? Do they consent to you talking about this publicly? Fresh Paycheck with $5. If Destiny wants to fuck his own life up, that's his prerogative. It's so weird Conor is using that as a reason to condemn him. It's just a level of personal involvement that is not healthy, I would say. Lawson with $5. Conor, bless his heart, saying this is not normal when he means I don't want this to be normal. True.
It is also not a crazy stance to say that Steven has fucked over his friends, people who care about him, and his professional relationships. Pisco and him were going to do a show together in 2024. He fucked that up. Hutch, Josiah, IRI, me, Lonerbox, we would all love to collaborate with Steven. He is a nuclear fucking stockpile next to a case of fucking dynamite.
So you just draw boundaries around that stuff and live your life, you know? It's like beyond like healthy, normal boundaries to be mad about that, you know? Just people are the way that they are. That's a lesson I'm still learning, to be honest with you. I struggle sometimes, but like you just create your boundary, and then you just like the boundary's there to protect you, you know? But if this isn't a boundary, this is just like criticism / you know, like condemnation. You know, I think it's true that Destiny makes it difficult to, you know, and this has been the case for years. He, through his conduct, he makes it kind of difficult to keep like a close relationship with him. But I don't resent him for that. You know what I mean? I'm just like, well, because a lot of the stuff that he said, like when the Charlie Kirk stuff happened, and he was doing his whole that whole arc. It's stuff like that where it's just like I'm just not comfortable being that close to that kind of rhetoric, you know? But I don't like, I'm not over here like mad that he does that. Fucking man, he makes it so hard. It's just like, well, I don't really want to be close to that. And then you just kind of live your life. But it seems like Connor's like personally offended by it.
There are new people. Adam Mockler, Unfuck America, Midas Touch, Bulwark, who would probably love to work with Steven on a frequent...
This is why Steven likes you, Hutch. You accept him and move on. That seems like all he wants. It's just a good way to live your life. I am not perfect at this, you know? I am not perfect at this. Some relationships, it's really hard to get that acceptance, but it's for you. That's the point. It's such a good principle to live by. Like, acceptance is a really big, important part of my life. Like, so much of my unhappiness in the past was because I just didn't accept that certain things were the way that they were. And I would personally involve myself in ways that was like making me unhappy. It's also like a very kind of Buddhistic principle. Like, Buddhists are big on not fighting things so much, letting go, accepting things, you know, like not creating your own suffering. It's just like a big principle in recovery, is that you cause a lot of your own pain simply by not accepting things, people, things that are outside of your ability to control. And it just makes you miserable. I'm better now that I'm older about protecting my well-being. I don't get as angry as I used to. And I'm definitely not perfect at it, but I'm just like a lot better. It probably took me too long to learn these lessons. I was a slow learner, I'll put it that way.
But he is too busy smacking his fucking dick with a rake to consider his personal or professional relationships. Dan Saltman has been doxxed and harassed as a result of Steven's behavior. I'm sure Mr. Mooten has been digitally harassed as a result of being Steven's friend.
There's a couple things there to unpack. Like, first of all, the people who chose to dox those people are responsible for those doxes. But also, second of all, Dan and Mr. Mooten are grown-ups who, and I don't know Mooten at all, just to be clear, but I'm just saying, like, they're both grown-ups. And so if they choose to still associate with Steven, I'm sure they've thought about like the risks involved, and I would assume that there's like some level of acceptance of the risk there.
I was being harassed for being friendly with Steven. I am currently being harassed by Steven's cult. Kyla was harassed by Steven's haters, and if she ever pops up her head to comment on this situation with any level of detail, she will either be consumed by Steven's critics or by Steven's community, depending on how she talks about it.
I mean, so there's an element of DGG that I think is that can be a little much. I'm not painting with a broad brush here. I'm not saying everyone in DGG is like that, but DGG, there's some people in DGG that can be kind of brutal. Ion Android with $5. If you notice, without connecting any of these issues, he's brought up sexual misconduct through critique of the kink. But where is the misconduct? Straight for moves with £5. Who cares about age play? People do all sorts of extreme role play fantasies because that's their kink. If it's consenting adults, it doesn't matter. It's just none of my business, you know. It's just none of anybody's business. Knife Mall with $5. We know you aren't perfect. You are wide and you game on an ultra bald monitor. We accept you as who you are. Okay.
So yes, Steven's private or personal conduct affects his friends and people who care about them, and anybody who pretends otherwise is coping. I believe that Steven is a reckless sex addict with unprocessed trauma. He is dangerous to himself. He is dangerous to other people, but I wish him the best. And I do mean that. I think Steven should go to therapy. I think he should go to some kind of rehabilitation. I think he should think about the amount of people that he's fucked over. I think he should think about the amount of people that he's hurt. I think that he should, even if he's a sociopath, let's say that instead of taking stock of his sins, his narcissism prevents him from considering what has been said this evening. Let's say that all he can think about is going on offense and destroying my life. Why don't you just think about it from a sociopathic calculation? Even a sociopath who was mildly self-aware and mildly evaluative of the consequences that they had been through would know that engaging in pro-social behavior would be more beneficial to you. So you don't have to think about my feelings. You don't have to think about Kyla's feelings. You don't have to think about Dan. You don't have to think about Britt. You don't have to think about Mooten. You don't have to think about Trihex. You don't have to think about fucking Wicked Supreme or Hutch or Josiah.
I'm gonna pee real quick. I don't know why I'm being brought up. I never took any of like Destiny's, anything he's done, like any kind of like mistake that I think he's made. I've never took that personally. Why would I? Got nothing to do with me. So I don't know why I'm being brought up like Destiny fucked me up, fucked me over with his bad behavior. What does that got to do with me? I never internalized that. Let me pee real quick.
Or Pisco, or don't think about any of our feelings, because it seems like you're only able to do so with a passing consideration. Just think about you from a self-reflective, self-aware situation. Have you been an antisocial cunt and it's resulted in you becoming a millionaire? Absolutely. Has you being an antisocial cunt wiped out $800,000 of your wealth? Absolutely. Have you lost 99% of your friends and lovers? Yes. Are there people who hate you on the internet? For rational reasons. The answer, shockingly, he was denying this on Friday, is yes. So, Stephen, even if you are a sociopath who enjoys engaging with mentally ill people, can you please, for the love of God, just recognize that your antisocial behavior is not only destroying the people around you, it's destroying you. And anybody who had a lick of common sense, who was around you, who actually cared about your well-being, would tell you to fucking stop. That's what I got. So, I'm assuming chat is filled with antisocial, gray name fucking freaks. I'm assuming there might be a few super chats, or not. I am going to pop open my chat, and I am going to engage until I feel like it.
The only Brian with $5. If I had $1 every time somebody brought up Hutch in unrelated drama, I would donate a lot more. Mr. Fantov with the tier 1 membership, discarded Sunday with $20. This entire thing could have been Destiny's personal life. Drama bleeds into our streaming life. Is too much for me. I'm not engaging and moving on. This entire days long crash out reeks of I'm not fired, I quit. Boundaries. It's just boundaries. That's all this is. It's just boundaries. If you don't like the drama of being associated with a particular person, draw boundaries, and then, enforce those boundaries. Tallybots with $5. Let he who has never watched a scripted stepmom scene cast the first stone. This all feels very unhealthy. Position yourself as a brave truth teller, and then know that you're gonna, and then get into nasty exchanges with chat. It feels very I don't know what the word is. Like masturbating while crying is what it feels like. We've all been there.
What is the brief summary of the truth that you revealed here? Stephen engaged in fucking age play with a mentally ill woman who threatened suicide long after he said that he had his sexual proclivities under control. How is this Destiny's fault? You're too retarded to be in my community. Leave and never come back. Is this his fault too? Patriarch, I thought you didn't like drama. Why are you here? What made the deterioration between the two of you happen behind the scenes for you? Finding out that he was still talking to Britt. Laugh my ass off, you're crashing out. I feel like I spoke in a pretty calm, narrative manner. So, see ya. Don't come back. It's a nothing burger. You think role-playing molesting children is a nothing burger? Go tell that to your parents if you have a good relationship with them.
I imagine it would be pretty awkward to talk to your parents about any sexual kink that you might have, but depending on the relationship you have with your parents, I suppose.
Somehow I feel that you don't have a good relationship with your parents, friends, family, or community. Matter of fact, go to your job. Go to your job and say, hey, is role-playing molesting children normal? And let me know how that goes for you.
I would recommend not doing that.
Who's Brit? A Discord girl. Is this just reiterating what you said 3 days ago? Yeah. With the fact that Brittany admitted that it all happened. Patriarch, more like Gatriarch, true. Yeah, the Vivance. The Vivance was supposed to do this. Where's the evidence for that, Connor? I have it. That's why I'm not going to be sued.
The Vivance was supposed to do what? Does Vivance help ADD people not be as impulsive?
What about your ex-wife? What about her? Saw her today. People have kinks, Connor. You're not welcome in my community. Goodbye. You are blowing up Lauren's ABS over people's life and run cover for people who are actively harassing the people you say you want to protect? Okay. Good luck. Bye.
Yes, Vyvanse generally helps people with ADHD become less impulsive, and it does so by increasing dopamine and norepinephrine activity in brain regions responsible for executive function, behavioral inhibition, and self-control. The effect comes from how its active form, dextroamphetamine, changes neurotransmitter signaling. Interesting. Vyvanse becomes dextroamphetamine in the bloodstream, which then raises dopamine and norepinephrine levels in the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain that regulates planning, inhibition, and decision making. It blocks reuptake of these neurotransmitters, keeping them active longer. It increases their release, boosting signaling even further.
I cannot bring myself to care about what two adults I don't know do with each other. It doesn't want to be normal for me to give a fuck. Okay, bye. I never wanted you in my community. Casper says, Connor, please read what Mr. Girl said the age play was, because I heard role playing as step parents of each other's kids, not as each other's kids. Yeah, isn't that fucking worse? If you knew he was deviant in a way you detest, why didn't you set boundaries and leave it at that? Because I am sick of him taking advantage of mentally ill women.
As you violate the privacy of one of the women that you call mentally ill, like literally violating her privacy by sharing like private correspondence stuff. Unless, I don't know, maybe she said it was okay for him to talk about this stuff. I can't imagine that's true.
What do we actually know about the role play exactly? Gosh, so nasty talking about people's private sex lives, but I feel like I've been vague references before. Go listen to the Mr. Girl clip. It's probably on Twitter at this point. Go be freaks somewhere else. Truly, if this is not your line, then leave. I never want to talk to you. I never want to talk to people like you.
I just want to warn people, because a lot of you guys are young, probably younger than me, maybe a little bit more sexually inexperienced. Be careful about doggy style, okay? People think that doggy style is harmless, but before you know it, you're attracted to dogs. I've seen it happen many times because of the thing called neuroplasticity. When you're having sexual relations in the position known as doggy style, your brain thinks that you're literally having sex with a dog, and then you associate that thought with sexual arousal. I've known a few people that blew up their lives doing that, and it's not worth it. Missionary, there's a lot you can do with missionary. It's a very dynamic position.
Rob's boss says, why did you claim Steven lied about the Lauren Southern stuff when you justify why you pursued her to me in your Discord? You're straight up lying, bro. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. You're fucking hard.
I don't know. I guess I was exposed to some wild kinks really early on in my life. I dated someone who was really plugged into the sex positive scene in San Francisco. And even though I've never been a particularly I don't think I have any extreme kinks. I don't have that curiosity as other people do. I met a lot of people that were into extreme kinks. I've talked to people who have done dog role play. I talked to someone who dated a couple, and she would role play like a dog for hours at a time. she peed on a little mat. And you hear enough of those kind of stories and it's like, you know what? They seem happy. I'm not trolling. I just met a lot of people like that in my 20s, and it just, you know, things stop. Once you hear those kinds of stories, I went to like a kink party in San Francisco, and that was like my first time, and I was hella nervous. And I go in there, and it's just an interesting environment because you look over to the right and you see a guy who is strapped to a crucifix, with a big old erection, and he's got his little play partner, you know, hitting him with like whips and stuff. It's like, huh, okay, well, that's interesting. And then I look over here, and there's like spanking going on with like bamboo sticks. I'm like, huh, that's pretty weird. And then I look over there, and there's a guy strapped to a fucking gurney, and another guy is tweaking his nipples, and another guy is shocking his balls with a little shocker thing. And I was like, you know what? If it makes you happy. I got exposed to that stuff when I was in my 20s, and so I was just like, eh. And then you hang out with them outside of like a sexual setting, and they're like normal people, like nice people, like very normal, nice people outside of like the sexual setting. I was like, yeah, well, okay, well. LM with $5. Serious political streamer, by the way. Yeah.
I said Lauren's hot. That's descriptively true, you fucking dipshit. We're supposed to believe you have the evidence for this insane claim when you spent a week telling Destiny you won't believe his claims without seeing evidence? Hold on, Pyvan. Hold on. So Destiny has the evidence, and I just need to trust them. And I have the evidence. I know I have the evidence. And the only reason why I'm not sharing the evidence is because I don't want to hurt Brit and Devil more than...
But you already blasted it out. What do you mean? I mean, if you don't want to hurt them, you don't want to violate their privacy, you just blast it out. Like,
I have the evidence. And the only reason why I'm not sharing the evidence is because I don't want to hurt Brit and Devil more than this.
More than already sharing their private information?
I have it.
I will hurt them up to a point. I will call this woman that I'm referring to, you know, mentally ill psychopath, but I'll stop there. And I won't actually show the logs.
Guess what the chances of me being sued are? 0. You know why?
Hutch sees Destiny Kinks and says amateur. Well, listen, I've lived a lot of life. I blame the Catholic Church. They're the ones that made me curious. The Catholic Church taught me that pleasure is bad. That just made me more curious about stuff. I'm not even kidding when I say that. I genuinely think it's the church's fault. Okay. But I discovered through all that process that I'm like kind of normal, you know, I'm pretty vanilla, but you know, I was adventurous. I was an adventurous young man. I went through like a yes phase, you know, people asked me if I wanted to do things. Fuck it. Let's try it. Why not? I literally told myself, I was like, this is the age where I just go out and I just try stuff, right? Like just on paper, this is probably when you do it. So, okay, that's a little weird, but yeah, let's get it, you know, like fuck it. Why not? You know, Ryan with $5. Don't lie, Hutch. We know you hopped in line to be next in the gurney. No, I just sat there and just was just like, just kind of took it in. I didn't even have sex when I went. We didn't even do anything sexual when we went. I was just like, literally just like, so this is what it looks like. Okay, well.
Because I have the evidence that backs up my perspective. So if he sued me, I would literally just present all the evidence that backed up my perspective. Space DP says, hey man, as a fan of yours and the one I was expecting to bridge the burn with Destiny, bro, you are clearly in the wrong. Okay, I don't want you in my community. Goodbye. If you think getting sued for leaking homemade pornography on the internet and then immediately Discord DMing a suicidal girl and playing out pedophilic and ephebophilic sexual fantasies is normal, I don't want you in my community. I'm sad that you're in Twitch poll. You literally justified the fact that you pursued her. I never pursued her, You're fucking... Here's 24 hours. Tag up. Connor, my guy, I understand where you're coming from as a Christian, but in 2026, most people see two adults doing consensual things with each other, even if it's a weird kink. I think you're in a freak fucking community. No offense, Tag up. Unlikely he would sue you even if you're wrong. Well, good news is I don't even have to worry about it. Matthew Tatter, can you see why people think you have a savior complex? Sure. But I can't save Steven. Steven only has to save
It's just me. Yeah, just me interviewing McMurrow next week.
himself. It's that simple. Did the couple involved in this want all that information about out that on the internet? The husband wanted it out in November. Then he got cold.
Cribs with $2 belly to belly missionary is goated. Missionary is like, listen, there's a lot you can do. There's like 25 different like sub positions that you can do. Missionary is highly underrated.
Cold feet. Does Kyla hate Destiny 2 now? Probably not. I don't know. She can figure out her own shit. Why didn't you just report Devil to the cops and move on? Why did you feel entitled to immerse yourself in this kind of drama? Because my friend is engaged in pedophilic fantasies about children.
It feels like circular logic, doesn't it? Why are you interested in your friend's sex life? Because my friend has an interesting sex, has a, you know what I mean? It is like, isn't this like the definition of circular logic?
That's normal to you? And he's doing so with a mentally ill woman. I want to test this, DGG. There are so many people in my chat right now claiming this is normal, this is normal, this is normal. This...
You know what, though? You know what? I get it. I get being stun locked by DGG. Many a stream. There was like a 3-week stretch where I was just like, I was just fighting with DGG about extreme measures that the next Democratic president should take.
This is a nothing burger. This is nothing burger. Prove it to me. I want you to go into your workplaces tomorrow, presuming that you have jobs.
Don't do this.
I want you to go to your family members.
Nope.
And talk to them.
Nope.
And I want you to say, hey, hypothetically,
nope,
if a person were to talk to another person about molesting the other person's children, in a sexual role play fantasy.
Pause. No, do not listen to this advice.
And they to that fantasy. Is that normal? Please come back with the answer.
Would not recommend.
Haven't seen anyone say it's normal? Yeah, they are. They're saying it's normal right above you. He's not your friend. Not anymore, obviously. Did you report Devil to the cops at all? No, I don't have the evidence. Stop giving Destiny passes then. I haven't. Punishing consensual sex is more important, guys. You are fucking gross. Food Chops will sue you for all your Warhammer figurines. Good luck to her. Isn't role-playing as the step-parents of each other's children just role-playing as being married? How is that inappropriate? Well, when you fucking kids. When you the kids, it's inappropriate. This is Brittany writing into Mr. Girl.
I was involved in an online affair with a guy for almost a year. My husband wouldn't engage with any of the weird trauma-induced kink stuff that I was curious about, and so I was compelled to impulsively and regretfully engage with this guy online in some pretty intense and taboo age play scenarios, including fantasizing about being step-parents to each other's kids. And obviously it went way too far, but felt really intensely good in the moment. But afterward, I felt sick and cried all night.
Wait, that doesn't say anything about Philic, though. Am I crazy? Wasn't that just we were step parents to each other's kids? When did it involve like pretending like they were kids?
This is Brittany writing into Mr. Girl.
I was involved in an online affair with a guy for almost a year. My husband wouldn't engage with any of the weird trauma-induced kink stuff that I was curious about, and so I was compelled to impulsively and regretfully engage with this guy online in some pretty intense and taboo age play scenarios, including fantasizing about being step-parents to each other's kids. And obviously it went way too far, but felt...
That's not... If you're both step-parents, then you're not like pretending like you're kids or whatever, right?
Felt really intensely good in the moment. But afterward, I felt sick and cried all night.
Oh, hold on. They were just imagining being a family together. That's why she was sick and cried all night. She was sick and cried all night because she imagined having consensual sex with a step-parent that she was married to. That makes sense. Good. What's the thing on Twitter? Media literacy. Good media literacy, real serious. I'm sure they threw up from imagining getting married and having sex with another adult. You're doing great. You're doing great, King. Good analysis.
Night, because it obviously felt really bad too. How do you know if the other person also feels the same way or if they would actually do it?
Do what? There's nothing wrong here. It's just two consensual adults talking about having sex with each other. Why is she talking about being worried that the other person might do something? She's just talking about them being married and engaging in normal consensual adult sex. She's obviously not talking about molesting children.
Understanding is the best predictors are drug use and low empathy. And even worse, what if you felt like you love them so much that you wouldn't care if they did and you get off on what you would potentially be willing to allow them to get away with? What if
Oh, clearly they're just talking about consensual adult sex. Real serious. Are you serious? That's fucking crazy pants. You have screenshot proof of the Destiny sex? No. I have the testimony of the husband. I have the testimony of the wife. I have the wife writing into Mr. Girl. That's what I have. How do you know for sure that he intentionally abuses mentally ill women? It's probably not even intentional. It's probably compulsive. Hey, Connor, where's the proof is that you demanded Stephen provided at... What? You're not even speaking in English. If Stephen had explicitly told you he was going to do what he was going to do and leave him alone if you don't like it, would you have gone public with this regardless? Probably.
If it were true that Stephen were compulsively engaging in promiscuous behavior with other people, then like both parties would be dealing with mental illness in that spot. It's not just about like, I really hate the framing a lot. It's not just about like mentally ill women. If we accept his premise, and just to be clear, I don't pretend to know, like I don't know much about Stephen's sex life. I'm not very curious about it. So I'm not saying that this is the case, but if we accepted his framing, then both people would be dealing with mental illness. It wouldn't just be like one guy who's addicted to crazy women. It would be like two people that are struggling with some kind of mental illness situation, right?
If in November he said, "No, I'm just going to do whatever I want to do. I'm going to keep doing fucking pedophile fucking role play."
I just very much dislike the crazy Discord e-bitches kind of slant to these things.
The random insane women. Yeah, I probably would have gone public. Yeah, absolutely. Why did you do all this? Is all Stephen had to do was save himself and you're not saving him? Because I tried. I said in November, you are fucking up. You are going to destroy your life. You are destroying your professional opportunities. You are destroying your personal relationships. It is difficult to be your friend. And it didn't change a fucking thing. Stop giving Destiny passes tonight. Have I given him a pass today? Hergerberg says, we're asking you for proof, Connor, just like you were asking for last week.
Fair?
No. You're not demanding from Stephen. The only people who will be hurt by providing the evidence will be Brit and Devil. Those are the only people who will be hurt by providing you the evidence. I've been in Twitch and YouTube politics for 6 years. You can't find a lie of commission that I've done in Twitch and YouTube politics. Destiny has been online for 15 years. You can catch him in dozens of lies. So if you're going to press me for evidence, how about you run on home to Dad and you ask him for evidence that the snarkers are a doxing and swatting server that have been harassing him and his orbiters for years. Please
How often do you cut your miswak stick? Like once every like 2 uses?
ask him for the evidence of why Esports Batman and Wicked Supreme deserve to be doxxed. And then come back to me. When you come back to me with Esports Batman evidence for reasons why he deserved to be doxxed, when you come back to me with the reason why Wicked Supreme deserved to be doxxed, I'll give you whatever you want. You're gaslighting yourself in real time? No, I'm not. You cunts are trying to tell me that pretending to molest children with a suicidal woman is normal. Fuck off from my community and never come back again. Oh, normal had nothing to do with morally permissible? Holy straw man. Get the fuck out of my community, you fucking file. Get the fuck out of here. Literally leave. Never come back. Does Conor have eyeliner on? No, I'm naturally handsome. Are you gonna believe Mr. Girl's word on this? This isn't Mr. Girl's word. He's reading an email.
How about we all come together and say, let's stop attacking files?
One of the few guys with a sober reaction to
the timing on that was so good. That's crazy. That Tangia and then just immediately followed with Conor. That timing was so good.
Pixie thing blew up, turned into the worst snarker. Thanks for a great time, C-Man.
That's like an underappreciated art form from chatters, is like a very well-timed Tangia. That is like an art, you know?
It sounds like Brit's fucked up too. Sure. She's pretty fucked up. Then you don't have evidence? I do have evidence. Kui says, I asked my mom and she said to pack my shit. So you're trusting the mentally ill woman? No. I'm trusting the totality of circumstances. The messages from the husband, the messages from the wife, the message to Mr. Girl, the email to Mr. Girl. The Mr. Girl thing was anonymous? No, not with the way that she did it. Conor, if you have the chat logs of this, and if you decided on going nuclear, then maybe actually posting those logs is a good idea. So far, I've heard it from you and from Mr. Girl, and allegedly a mentally ill lady. Okay. Keep that attitude. It's fine. Destiny is welcome to debunk me. Destiny is welcome to call me a liar. Destiny is welcome to show me that I'm wrong. And I'll have the evidence when he accuses me of lying. I will only present the specific evidence to show that he is a liar. How's that for a deal? He won't get to see what I have. I'll just let him lie, and then I'll show him that he's lying. Is the plan tonight to just crash out some more on Destiny? What happened? I'm not going to milk this for days. You're a weirdo fucking snarker, brother. Get help yourself. How's that? Bye. Don't ever come back. I feel like you're crashing out because of the divorce or the loneliness. I have a girlfriend, and it's not Lauren Southern. See you. Never come back.
Oh no. Oh no.
Honestly, the whole DGG sphere is putrid. Look at all these people who have come out here. All their enemies were DGGers. Yeah, I'm sorry. Did you think that I was a conservative, was going to see a guy talking to a mentally ill veteran who deals with suicidal ideation and sexual trauma and have them role play molesting children, and I was going to be chill with that? You sure about that? Why are your mods interested in attacking you and sweeping for Destiny? Because some of them are former DGGers. So, yeah. He's not watching this, lol? Yeah. He's welcome to. He's welcome to. He is welcome to watch this and debunk me. He is welcome to tell me where I'm wrong. You're crashing out because Mr. Girl read an email? No, I'm crashing out. I'm not even crashing out. Crashing out means like I'm
well,
yelling, spurging, all that kind of shit. What I'm saying,
I'm calmly crashing out. AC with $5. I can't help but feel like that excerpt from Brit was her feeling revolted about going online with another man to fulfill a to fulfill a fantasy. Oh dear. Yeah, maybe he's drawing an inference that, you know, it went too far and, you know, they went from role playing as step parents to kids, but that seems a very seems like a very specious claim. Hutch with $5 to get the kind of full picture. You have to look at the Google Doc Conor released last night and also the correspondence that Devil and Brit had with Tiny. Halen's Haven with $5. Man is just monologuing nonstop. I've heard this man say mentally ill girl like 3,000 times. Stream could have been 3 minutes. If there's anybody to judge someone for being too repetitive, it's not me. I don't get to make that judgment. Cybexon with $10. He thinks he's cooking right now. All hat, no fish with the tier 1 membership. Cinnabon Pop with $5. Conor lost 300 subscribers in the last 2 weeks, even with his views seeing an uptick on Social Blade. Stupid financially and a bad friend, seemingly. J-Man Colby with $5. So Conor never plays violent video games, right? Because then he might become a murderer. Kato with $10. Pretty sure Conor is just mega pissed that someone like Lauren would rather date a Coomer goblin like Destiny than someone who does everything right, conservative, manly, etc. like Conor. Again, I'm not going to speculate about like what is driving him here. I have some guesses, but I have no idea.
Is my former friend, my former internet friend, while getting sued for sexual impropriety, contacted a mentally ill woman, or a mentally ill woman contacted him. She was clearly mentally ill and suicidal, engaged in a sexting relationship involving age play that included children. Then he had the husband who wanted to murder him for film pornography with her and then send it to him. What a part that is good or normal. You guys are fucking gross. You are truly some of the fucking nastiest cunts on the internet. No one's sweeping to Destiny. We were just trying to get Conor off of this shit. I told y'all not to watch tonight if you didn't want to. I told y'all if you were sick of the... I don't even know why Patriarch's here. Patriarch missed the geopolitics segment this afternoon and came for the drama. Patriarch, explain that to me. How did you miss the geopolitical segment?
Let him know.
The one that you love so much, and you came to the drama.
Get his ass.
Explain that to me. Sure. Devil, would you like to come on?
Oh!
Yes or no? And by the way, Devil has said some things that I have contradictory evidence of.
Poisoning the well already. Oh dear. That's not a good sign.
All right, Devil, you want on? It's your time to shine. You wanted to destroy Destiny's life. Here's your opportunity. If you want it, you got it. Show the evidence. How about you guys keep this energy when Destiny tells you that it's a doxing, snarking server? Driving? Call in on your phone. Or how about this? Do you want to call in later? I'll literally sit here. How long does it take for you to get home? Hi, Utopia.
For like the last couple of weeks, it's like normal kind of conversations between me and Esme. She'll like ask me like, so how was work? And like the last couple of weeks, I just kind of just look at her and I'm just like, you know what? Not important. Where would I even begin? How would I even begin to summarize like my work day today and the stuff that I've covered?
Utopia says, let's say all the...
Okay, so a little backstory. There's this guy named Mr. Girl. And 3 years ago, you know, it's like...
are true. Where do we go from here? I leave orbit. That's where we go.
Wait, hold on.
Or how about this? Do you want to call in later? I'll literally sit here. How long does it take for you to get home? Hi, Utopia says, let's say all these allegations are true. Where do we go from here? I leave orbit. That's where we go. I'm already leaving orbit. Why are you bringing people on to shit on Destiny? Why are you bringing on the husband who Destiny was fucking age playing with? Are you serious? Do you not believe it's a doxing server? I would like evidence. Wow.
Does he have a Meeswalk stick?
Destiny fucking sex this guy's wife and does fucking role play, and you're mad that I'm talking to the husband? That's like a new level of cope I didn't even know was fucking possible. Deus Halcyon says leaving orbit in an uncontrolled burn up. Sorry. I don't like role play. If that's a problem, you can leave. If you like role play, dip out. It's fine. I don't need you. Maybe the husband is a bit biased. Sure. That's why I have evidence from multiple sources. I got the husband. I got Brittany. I got Mr. Girl reading Brittany's messages. I got corroborative evidence that this is Brittany's message. I got plenty of things. You knew this in November?
I got the Meeswalk stick and it had an unpleasant smell. Did you get a flavored one? I don't know. I'm kind of weird like that. I like earthy kind of smells and flavors, but it didn't really bother me.
I had conflicting testimony from the husband and from the wife in November, and so I didn't have enough to proceed. Now that I have the email from Britt to Mr. Girl, I think the husband's narrative is correct. It's 100% fine for you to find this abhorrent and don't want to associate with him, but making it maximally public confuses me, especially when you say how...
Do we have a timestamp for when... What's his name? Surfer? Shark? Pirate? What's his name again? Oh, okay. Here. Devil on his shoulder. Devil. Gotcha.
Devil.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Let me move you to a position where chat can see you. Not like see you, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Or actually, do you just want me to keep it on audio only?
Yeah, whatever you need to do. I definitely don't want to face reveal.
Okay, then I'll do audio only.
All right, bad.
So, I've asserted that Britt engaged, based off of your information, by the way, that Steven and Britt engaged in age role play, step-parent role play, involving your family's children back in the day, like November and last year.
All right. In terms of the age play stuff, like that's pretty much out there. Everybody's saying that. That's pretty much. But in terms of the Mr. Girl stuff, if I could talk about anything, I guess. From what I understand, she played up a lot of that because she was like watching Mr. Girl at the time and blah, blah, blah. And when she wrote in, she elaborated a bit, is my understanding and what she's telling me. I don't have any direct knowledge of that stuff. So
what is your understanding? Because obviously we had a conversation in November.
Yeah.
And I think that you told me something almost identical to what Britt wrote into Mr. Girl. So
right, but she never told
where was that coming from?
She never told me like the parts about him or her being turned on by him actually doing it IRL. Like none of that was ever mentioned. It was always just, hey, this is a thing that happened one time. He didn't really want to do it, but I kind of wanted to do it. And we both felt bad about it and didn't do it anymore. That was the story she gave me.
So the last hour and 50 minutes, I don't know the exact count of times he brought up like age play, but I'm guessing it was between 20 and 40 times, just nuked in a single sentence.
But it's just, she never told me like the parts about him or her being turned on by him actually doing it IRL. Like none of that was ever mentioned. It was always just, hey, this is a thing that happened one time. He didn't really want to do it, but I kind of wanted to do it. And we both felt bad about it and didn't do it anymore. That was the story she gave me. But never denied it happening, of course. But that was, like, it wasn't this ongoing thing, supposedly, from what I know. But like I said, I'm just going off. I never saw the logs between them. It was mostly like on Discord, etc., or whatever, her stuff. So I'm 100% just going off what she told me.
Yep. Now, Devil, I'm gonna do something rude. Okay.
All right.
Is he about to show logs on the screen right now? He is. He's going to do it.
Okay.
All right, so
He's going to break his one rule.
So, I'm gonna disconnect this call and I'm gonna point something out to chat. Okay. So
I'm going to disconnect this call and point something out to chat. Is he going to talk to him again, or is that it? Is that it? Did he really cut that off? Do they go back to talking or no? Devil comes back near the end. That's a wild way to do that. I'm going to cut off this call and then show chat something.
I'm gonna disconnect this call and I'm gonna point something out to chat. Okay. So, Devil wrote to me immediately before calling in. I can call in, but I'm gonna downplay everything.
Well, there's, I guess, a few different ways that you could read that, right? Shen with $2. Did the husband not just confirm they did it? Well, what the husband confirmed was that there was one time where Destiny and this person did age roleplay stuff, and that Destiny wasn't really into it, but she was pushing him to do it. We didn't get specifics on what the age play was. I don't really want the specifics, to be honest with you. I don't think it matters. But it definitely, if true, if what the husband is saying is true, it just completely annihilates the previous hour and 50 minutes of him suggesting that Destiny was like exploiting this woman and getting like that. He was kind of setting up this thing where he was like, it was like this ongoing kind of like sexual relationship that correspondence that he was having with this person, and exploiting her mental illness and vulnerability and doing age play stuff. And then the story that you hear from the husband is like way different than what you would have inferred from everything that Conor has said. I mean, it just really utterly annihilates it. Upstate Trash with $5. LMFAO. Oh no, I just had a horrible thought. How many innocent people are rotting in prison because of one of Conor's hunches?
I'm actually even going to go ahead and omit a detail so I can save Devil a little bit of heartache. There you go.
Oh, he used to
So
be
no
a cop.
offense.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
You dumb cunts. But everybody's lying. So, once again,
Again, there's like a few different ways you can read this, but
this the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God. So don't worry. You want the evidence?
let me bring up his
I got
chat. Live chat replay.
I got you. Nah, I'm good.
He said, psych.
I'm good.
He said, psych.
So, if y'all want it, I'll start working on a PDF. I'll blank out the messages as much as I can in order to eliminate information. But I'm done with lies.
Guys, I'm not spitting out like bits of food. I'm spitting out tiny little like particles of the miswak stick.
So, yeah, you know why it's cropped? Because he said something that I don't want to show you. Okay. No problem. I'll remove Devil's personal identifying information in any screenshots that I release. I'll take Brit's screenshots and I'll release all of it. How's that? How's that? Why didn't I have the evidence today? Because I haven't lied. Devil, if you want to call back in, go ahead.
You kind of get the sense from this, it's hard to know without more context, but you kind of get a sense from the tone of this that Devil doesn't like that this stuff is being blasted out. Like, you could read this as being kind of like angry or frustrated with Conor, you know what I mean? The 88 mile per hour with 10 Canadian. Even if Conor thinks this has anything to do with Destiny's addiction from someone who works with addicts, this is like a textbook guide on how to not approach a friend with addiction issues. Yeah, for sure.
Devil, if you want to call back in, go ahead. But the only thing that I want to hear from you is what I heard from you in November. So if you want me to call you, I'll call you. But I'm not doing this fucking self-sweeping shit. So if you need to self-sweep because this is serious, that's fine. But I'm not helping you self-sweep.
Oh, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Now, Devil, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say this exactly once. You and I...
The X is in the Snarker server, FYI, and apparently deleted logs.
spoke in November.
Swing it up with the primer, thank you.
You made some extreme allegations against Brit. I wasn't able to make heads or tails. That Mr. Girl email sounds identical to the messages, or excuse me, to the allegations that you were making in November. Yeah, I have on my screen right now, I can, but I'm going to downplay everything. So if you want to talk to me about what really happened, then I'll be happy to talk to you. If you want to fucking bullshit me about what's going on, I will literally just take all the screenshots of all the messages that I have between you, me, and Brett.
What the fuck?
I'll remove your guys' personal identifying information and I'll release it on Twitter because that's what you wanted to do.
That doesn't even make any sense. I'm going to take a conversation that I had with you guys, a digital correspondence that I'm saying is with you two people, but I'm going to remove your names. What would be the point of removing the names? I don't understand that.
By downplaying, it did not mean that I was going to lie. It simply meant that I'm not going to go into all the details, specific details that could get me and my family personally fucked up. Because, you know, that sounds like a sensible thing to do. Now, I will talk to you and I will tell you. And like I said, leak the logs if you want. But I had no knowledge of some of the things she said in that email. And from what I understand and what she told me...
Then why did you tell me the exact same thing that was in the email in November?
What did I tell you in the email? Like, I have screenshots. I can go pull it up.
You told me. I'll tell you exactly what you told me because I still got screenshots. So you told me in November that Britt and Destiny were role-playing as parents in reference to molesting their own children. You also told me that they role-played as your children.
Okay, but specifically, like I said, in terms of downplaying, I mean, I'm going to give you... I'm not going to try to, like, dramatize it.
So did that happen or did that not happen?
That is what I was told. I have no direct evidence of that. I do not know if that is true.
So you don't have the videos or screenshots, but Brittany said that that happened to you.
I mean, Brittany told you the same thing, didn't she?
She did. But look, well, actually, hold up. Brittany downplayed it, and she said that they did babysitting fantasies.
Well, that was my understanding.
So hold up. To be clear, what happened is you told me exactly what was in the Mr. Girl email. Then Britt told me that they just did babysitting fantasies. I wasn't able to make heads or tails of it. The only reason why I was going public with this is because Britt wrote Mr. Girl telling me what you told me.
Is this why Conor said that Destiny was as a child? Is that what he's basing this off of? That was another wild thing he just fucking threw out there. But he said he didn't No, he just suspected that that was the case. Is that what this is based on? It is, isn't it?
Yeah, okay, yeah. I didn't know. Well, I don't know everything she told you either. I've never seen y'all's logs or y'all's conversations, but I just know what she told me, and she told me that happened once and never happened again. And if downplaying it is just telling you the truth about what she told me, I mean, I don't think I said that they were doing it constantly either. And I shouldn't have even got into all that personally, but I was, crashing out at the time, is what it is. By the way, I called her a schizo earlier. By the way, I called her a schizo earlier. She's not a schizo. She does have BPD, but she's not a schizo. Just want to clear that up.
That's funny. Why were you
She's still an
crashing
adult.
out?
She's still an adult. She can still do what she wants. It is what it is. We're kind of trying to move past it. Oh, because she had an affair with Destiny. I mean, among all the other shit, pretty obvious.
Okay, did Destiny know you were married?
I don't even know if that's public knowledge or any of that. Is it? I don't know. I mean, I didn't even know that was in contention.
It's not in contention. The reason, okay, let me tell you what I'm trying to do, Devil. What I'm trying to let me tell you the picture that I'm trying to paint. The picture that I'm trying to paint is, you came to me in November and you said that they role played as step parents, that Steven received pictures of your children that were not in a sexual context, but he still knew what they looked like. They role played stepmom, stepdad sexual fantasies in which the children were being. And then they also role played as the teenagers themselves engaging in an actual tryst. And that was so.
Just good luck, Mr. Editor Man. To my editor, have fun with this one. I don't even know where to begin. I don't know. This might be an intense edit. I don't know.
Fucking disturbing to you that you wished you could destroy the online personal and professional reputation of Destiny. That's what you told me in November. So is that accurate or not?
At the time, I definitely did want to destroy the online personal reputation of Destiny. This is true. Yeah.
Okay. And was my description of what you told me in November accurate or no?
I don't remember if I said exactly like that. Like I said, I'd have to pull it up. But I was pissed. I pretty much just told you generally what she told me. Who knows? Like I said, I really need to go back and look at it. It's been so long. I'm trying to move past it, trying to get my own shit going on, get my own thing together. But in terms of, like I said, you got the logs. I don't even know why you need me, to be honest. So I don't really personally want to get into too many details. I just wanted to come on to kind of clarify a few things that, like, there was no Telegram group. I keep hearing about this Telegram group. That was a joke that went too far because me and her were arguing and fighting about Destiny. And I kind of played into it. And I told her that it was bullshit and I was just being facetious, but she didn't want to hear that. And she called, the whole fucking thing happened, but.
Oh dear.
So the thing that you wanted to clarify is that you were not in a Telegram group that was planning Destiny's homicide.
I was not in a Telegram group. There was a conversation that happened, and I essentially said, like what you're doing is insane. You got to chill, blah, blah, blah. Like, you're going to get way too many eyes on us. Shit's going to hit the fan at some point. And I was like, you're aware there's like groups online, like snarker groups that like want Destiny dead, that are like plotting his murder, that like know where he lives, et cetera, et cetera. Like, do you really want to be a part of that? And she was like, tell me more about this. And I was like, I don't know. I'm not directly involved with it. I'm just aware of it. And she kept going on. I like facetiously said like, oh yeah, there's a fucking Telegram group. Yeah, they make AI porn of Destiny getting fucking whatever. None of that was. I never saw any of that. But they're probably out there. Let's be real.
Did the FBI contact you about that?
They tried to. I wouldn't talk to them.
Okay.
Why?
What else do you want to clarify?
I feel like if the FBI wants to contact you, they will fucking contact you.
I don't know, man. I just want everybody to know that, like, are me and Destiny best friends? No, but I don't hate him now. Like, he's a fucking adult. She is too. He can dig his own grave, do what he wants to, and she can too. It's none of my business anymore. I just wanted to kind of move past this. I know there's a lot of other people at risk, blah, blah, blah. I've heard all the different things, but shit, this is Destiny. Like, what are you going to do? A BPD girl wants to reach out to him. They're going to reach out to him. You can't get him, At this point, it's kind of like fucking with my life even more. Like, it's been 6 months now, and I'm like.
Again, just to repeat myself, Connor's whole thing, like back here in this video, was expressing like disgust that Destiny had engaged in this behavior that was like harmful to like 2 military veterans who, you know, he described them as both suicidal and homicidal. It's hard to piece together an accurate picture of what actually occurred because it feels like there are a lot of unreliable narrators in this story. The tone of this conversation to me is pretty clear that this guy, Devil Knight, would rather this stuff not be hashed out publicly. And so, like, how do you not come to the conclusion that Conor is like violating this guy's privacy and kind of like exploiting that stuff for like a drama cycle on a live stream? It's it's a bit sketchy.
Kind of wanting to just move past this shit. Are they DJing?
I understand that, but we're in it, man. You involved me in November, and Britt involved me last week, so we're in it, whether you like it or not. So,
Yeah, I mean,
Well, that's kind of telling. Like, well, you're in it, buddy. I'm blasting your shit out there on the internet, so you're in it, whether you like it or not. That doesn't sound great.
Did Britt convince you to shoot homemade pornography and then send it to Steven?
no. We're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that. We're not doing that, Conor.
Okay.
All right.
What else do you want to clarify?
Like I said, I don't want to get into like all the different.
Like the tone is like so like completely different. It's like a 180 tone shift here. Back here, it's like disgust. Destiny was fucking with these people's lives. And now Conor is like pressing this guy when this guy is very clearly communicating that he doesn't want this stuff publicly like discussed. You know, it is very icky.
It's fucking complicated, you know what I mean? And like, as far as I'm concerned, I guess that's all I really need to clarify. I don't know, man. It just sucks, and I wish people would fuck off and just kind of let us live our lives at this point.
Okay.
And not
Well,
involved. I don't really want my kids fucking involved in all this shit.
I'll
know what
tell
I'm saying?
I'll tell you right now. I would have loved for all of us to have moved on and lived our lives. But
Yeah.
what happened was
Why is Conor even involved in any of this stuff? He just like fully involved himself here, you know? Like he didn't have to insert himself in this way.
Steven was making claims.
Like, what choice did you leave me? You guys emailed me. Now I'm involved because I got an email about it. Ranger with $10. Unreliable is right. They were having manic episodes, and both him and her are saying they exaggerated and missaid a lot of this, and both apologized to Destiny. I have no idea, like the expanded lore here.
That rant the snarkers,
I don't know
fucking
anything about
J-Stock,
this shit.
Queeman, whatever. I'll tell you right now, I would have loved for all of us to have moved on and lived our lives. But
It's just the way he's talking. Like, Conor, you're not even really tangentially involved in any of this. Like, why are you even involved here?
Yeah.
what happened was Steven was making claims that the snarkers, fucking J-Stock, Queeman, whatever.
All elite memes of $5. I won't pretend to know who's right here. What I will say is if these people are victims, then this isn't really how you treat a victim. This is re-traumatizing. Obviously. Bad Company with $5 is like Conor feels he has the upper hand and is able to ruin the guy at will if he wants to. Some sick sense of power. Speed Racer with $2. Why did the guy reach out to Conor in November 2024? That's between them, but like that doesn't mean that Conor is a part of all this. Like getting an email doesn't mean that you're involved. It just means that you're aware of a thing that happened that doesn't involve you. Chalk with 5 pen. I would bet money that snarkers are going to try to pry so deep into the personal lives of these two individuals because of Conor. Oh, I would assume that's already happening here.
They're responsible for the doxing, swatting, and harassment and threats to his life. Meanwhile, I got you in November saying that you wish you could destroy Steven's life and alleging some pretty fucking extreme things about what he did with your wife.
Hey man, I know we got off on a horrendous foot. It was super fucked what y'all did, but I'm an adult and really want to move past it. I also crashed out harder than I should have, but fuck, my whole life was in flames. I just wanted you both to hurt like I did. Somehow her interacting with you is better than whatever regarded shit she started on when you blocked her. I hope I helped diffuse the situation with Conor. He's actually such a bitch. All the stories are conflicting now and nobody believes me or him. This was my goal. Also, fuck Mr. Girl. Her mental is still not great, but she's in therapy and I'm keeping an eye on her still paying her bills, etc., etc. Trying to help get to a point where she can be independent. I just want this shit to go away at this point. Destiny says, sure, LOL, sorry. All this got so stupid and public and fucked. I don't hold it against either of you. I'm guessing Conor is just on his little tantrum now and will get bored and all that. Devil says, likely fucking regarded of her for emailing Mr. Girl. I told her not to multiple times. She swears she's going to stop engaging. Oh boy, there's a whole lot of... Boy. Oh, this is messy. Oh God, this is also messy. It just seems exhausting. I'm tired just reading all this stuff.
And then I got Britt writing into Mr. Girl, identifying nearly identically exactly what you described to me. Then I have Britt contacting me on Friday stating that not only did that fucking Telegram shit fucking exist, but then on top of that, that she is currently in communications with Destiny right now. So for me, I know this sucks. I know that I do not dislike you at all. But what's happening is because you're scared, you're walking back shit that you told me previously. And I'm just going to release the logs.
I mean, that's fine, man. I'll message you later about some shit. But look, like, at the end of the day, these are two adults. It happened one time, according to them. That's what she told me back then too. I got logs with her too, talking about it. And like, she's supposedly, she's in fucking therapy now, man. Like, she's trying to get her shit together. And if she wants to message Destiny from time to time, it's not that fucking.
How treatable is BPD? My understanding is that one is a tricky one to treat. Treatability is actually one of the more encouraging stories in psychiatry, which surprises people because BPD has an outdated reputation as untreatable, or as a label clinicians used to dismiss difficult patients. The current evidence points the other way. It's quite treatable, and the long-term outlook is generally pretty good. The strongest data comes from long-term follow-up studies, notably the McLean study of adult development and the collaborative longitudinal study, which found that a large majority of people die. So before I read this, I think I was told back in the day that a lot of people simply like kind of outgrow it. Maybe I'm thinking of something else. Which found that a large majority of people diagnosed with BPD experience symptomatic remission over time. Many no longer meet the full diagnostic criteria after a number of years, and remission tends to be fairly durable. Functional recovery, meaning stable work, relationships, etc., can lag behind symptom remission and is the harder part, but the picture is far more hopeful than the old pessimism suggested. Symptoms also often soften naturally with age, particularly the impulsive ones. On treatment, the core thing to know is that psychotherapy is the first-line primary treatment, not medication. The best-known approach is dialectical behavior therapy, developed by Marcia Lineham, specifically for BPD. It combines individual therapy with group skills training in 4 areas: mindfulness, distress tolerance, emotion regulation, and interpersonal effectiveness. Often plus phone coaching for crises. It has the largest evidence base, especially for reducing self-harm and suicidal behavior. Medication is adjunctive, not curative. There's no drug approved specifically for BPD. Drugs like antidepressants, mood stabilizers, or low-dose antipsychotics are sometimes used to target specific co-occurring symptoms.
Deep, honestly, I feel like. But yeah, is it fucked up? Yeah, it's fucked up. Would I do it? No. Is it degen? I think so. But it's nothing ever happened that was technically illegal, as fucked up as it is. And I'm trying to maintain peace and harmony in my life as much as I can. And yeah, sure, I don't really give a fuck who wants to kill Destiny. I'm sure there's like 20 communities out there that want to kill Destiny. Wow,
Yep.
You know? Like, what else is fucking new? He's fucking Destiny. He's Epstein. What are you going to do? Yep. I should have said that. That's fucked up. But yeah, at the end of the day, I have no fucking beef with Destiny. I'm sure a lot of people have valid reasons to, and I probably do too, but I'm willing to live and let go. and move on with my life. And I hope that whatever snarker shit gay fake internet shit he's involved with, I hope that works out for him.
Okay. Well, then, anything else you want to clarify before I let you go?
Nothing much. It was interesting being, bit infamous for a minute. I hope it passes over. Wouldn't recommend, but thanks for letting me call in and clarify a few things.
All right. Good night, bud.
All right, stay safe. Don't die.
You too. Listen, guys, I'm keeping this up. We literally got a message that I'm covering up right now with a detail that is inconvenient. How are we going to spin this now? I don't need to spin shit if you're above 80 IQ. I don't need to spin shit. Look at your screen, dipshit. Look at your fucking screen. You can see that, right? People are asking for a summary. I'll give you the summary.
Again?
While I'm keeping this log up. January 20 of 2025, Steven got in trouble for sending homemade pornography to a person that he knew for 10 fucking days. Okay? That shit got leaked onto the internet, and Steven got sued for it. And so far, he's lost $800,000 in reference to that civil suit. Immediately after that, he started sexting a girl on Discord named Britt. Britt and Devil, the man that I was just talking to, are military veterans who both have PTSD and military sexual trauma.
I don't think we need to listen to this entire recap again. I think we kind of got the gist of it.